friends, family, beautiful beings. So I'm gonna make a video to talk about the question about who is Christ and what do the star people think about Christ. And so I guess I'll start with an experience that happened back in 2013. No, maybe it was 2014. Yeah, so this is after I had my surgery. I was going through a breakup of a very long relationship. And my buddy Steven came over, who's like a Rastafari dude, a very spiritual guy. He's a white dude, Rastafari. And he was going through a divorce and had 2 kids. And he had a broken arm. So we're both going through like major transitions in our life, and we're both physically fucked up and healing. Anyway, he comes over, we hang out, have like some good talks about life and whatnot. And I'm about to give him a ride home, and I open the door and I see this ship light up and flash in the sky. And so I'm like, hey, before I give you a ride home, do you want a skywatch? He's like, sure. And so go in the backyard and it's cold, and he's like, you got any blankets? So I'm like, yeah, because he's only got one arm, right? And I'm healing from neck surgery, but I'm still able to carry stuff at this point. So I grabbed some blankets, and as I come back out, he's like, dude, this, and this happened while you were in there, and this ship was moving and changing colors next to Arcturus. And I was like, yeah, it's already starting. And so anyway, we're out there for like, I don't know, a total of 30 minutes. And during that time, I'm not even exaggerating, we must have seen like 200 craft. And they were powering up and interfacing at very low levels. I'm talking about like a couple hundred yards above us, to where you could see the ships fully powered down but still luminous, like plasma ships, and you could see like the detail of it, windows and all the contour lines of it, and radiating luminous energy, like different colored ones, like baby blue colored ones, which are a group of Syrians, green ones, which are Pleiadian craft, gold ships, all different colors. So much stuff happened that night. And anyway, at a certain point, this huge Pleiadian craft flashes in, like just nothing there. All of a sudden, boom, next second, there's a massive craft like a couple hundred yards above the neighborhood, and this thing is huge. It's a mothership. It goes like a full block length, a city block. Like it must have been upwards of, I don't know, close to a quarter mile long. It was huge. It was absolutely massive. It pops in for a couple of seconds, and we're both like, whoa! And it's a plasma ship. Like it's luminous and radiating light from it. And then it blinks out and it's gone. And then it blinks in again for a second. We're like, whoa! And it blinks out and it's gone. And then this energy starts coming and like raising up. It's like, and it feels good. And I look over, I'm like, hey, do you feel that? And he's like, yes, I've never felt so high in my life. And those were his exact words, and I'm talking about high from energy, like, and we can't stop laughing, like they're hitting us with like love, bliss energy, and we just can't stop laughing because it's like, I don't know what it was, but oh my god, it was amazing, and it kept raising up and raising up and raising up, and we're just like blissed out laughing, and this goes on for a while, like 30 seconds, a minute maybe. and then it kind of levels out, and we're just like, oh my God. And anyway, after this moment, I was in this like different state of awareness where I felt like I was using 90% of my brain rather than 5 or 10% that we normally use. And this state lasted for like a solid 3 days. And I was able to explain everything perfectly to anybody and like see people's thoughts and like any situation I was able to maneuver through it correctly and word everything perfectly, and it was just everything made perfect sense. And he experienced the same thing as well. He was able to talk to all these people in his family and tell everyone everything, break through all these barriers that were there prior. And then like around 3 days, this energy kind of faded off, but it was a major upgrade. I don't know what that was, but I want them to do that again. But anyway, going back to that night, so we're having all this interface and asking him all these questions, and because he has these Rastafari beliefs, right? So he's asking certain questions about what their view on things are, what religions are correct, and basically what they were saying was like there's many beings who are master teachers. You could call them ascended masters, but that's kind of like a new agey term, which I'm not new age at all. Like I'm just relaying my experiences and what I've learned as truth and what the star people's view on things are. And so there are many master teachers that have come through the ages. Many of these deities, these Vedic deities, as well as the Buddha, and Christ as well. And so every time we would say Christ, these ships would power up and flash, and there's like a huge response. Like there's a lot of power in this being Christ, as he's known as. And first of all, his name wasn't Jesus. The letter J didn't exist until like, I think it was like 600 years ago or something. Like it's a fairly new letter to the alphabet. And Jesus just means Hail Zeus. Like the church twisted it up to worship a deity that does not have people's best interest in mind. Anyway, his name was Yeshua, and he was a master teacher who became self-realized, and he came to the lineage of Mary, which was another master teacher who came from LYRA to be able to hold these genetics to birth such a powerful being into this realm. And there's been many master teachers throughout the ages. And so, Christ was a very special one. Okay, there's a lot of dogma around this. A lot of like, this is the only way, and throw everything else out, and that's really not the case. All the master teachers' teachings talk about the same thing. It's about love. It's about one. It's about the heart. And all this is written in your heart. Like at a certain point, you find it within. You find it by going within, and then certain beings appear along the way and teach you certain things as well, and they guide you within because this memory is already written within you. But every time we would say Christ, the ships would respond, power up, and flash. And I think it happened a total of like 7 times that night. And then on the last time, like on the 7th time, I said his name, I said Christ out loud to see if they would do it again and get a response. And so I said Christ. And this ship, like this light, it was a ship, like a scout ship, an Arcturian scout ship, but it was pure light, and it flew to my right side between me and the palm tree in my yard. And both of us saw this, and it left this like glowing plasma energy there after it left. and we're both like, oh my God. And you could feel this energy. I could feel it on my skin. It felt similar to warmth. It felt like temperature, but it wasn't warmth. But I registered that I'm feeling something on my skin, but it wasn't heat. And so it was like some extra sense that I haven't used before, but I don't know. I don't know what it was. Was it radiation? Was it some sort of plasma thing? Was it some sort of sense that I don't know what it is yet? That we have more than 5 senses? I'm not quite sure, but I registered that I was able to perceive its energy on my skin, on my face, and I was like, whoa. And the telepathy that came through was like, hey, snap out of the being enchanted by this stuff. Like, don't be just trying to make us show up just because you say the name Christ. Like, we're talking about some serious stuff right now. These teachings are important. You know, like, don't be playing games. Snap out of the enchantment. And I was like, okay. And so anyway, Christ is a master teacher, and he hails from the lineage of LYRA. And the church has twisted everything up and distorted his teachings, and it's a completely opposite thing. And so the concept of the Demiurge in Gnosticism, this is describing the Abrahamic so-called God, this deity, who I've seen in visions before, and I've interfaced with multiple times. And this being is a trickster entity. Okay, and he does not have the best interests of humanity in mind. He's known as Yaldabaoth, he's known as Yahweh, he's also known as Jehovah, the jealous and wrathful God. And so Abraham was told to sacrifice his son Isaac by Yahweh and Jehovah, supposedly, right? So he goes up there and marches him up there to do it, and an angel pops in and says, no, don't do it. We were just testing to see if you would actually follow through with it. What kind of deity requires human sacrifice? That's not good, man. That is not a good being. And so that's just one example. But who is this being? Well, it ties into the fallen Anunnaki, and who is Enlil. You know, the two brothers, Enki and Enlil. Well, this ties into Enlil, but the seat changed after a while, and it became Marduk. Marduk is also known as Amun-Ra, and this is not the original Ra, the sun god, which was a benevolent being. This is after things changed up and Amun-Ra came and tried to switch everything up, and this is after the fall. And so that's getting into a whole nother story. The point that I'm making is the church's interpretation of Jesus is not the real. It's not the real Christ. This being exists, and he can be found in your heart. And his teaching said you can do what he can do and more. You know, and so Christ consciousness is a thing, and by doing this work, we activate it within, and we realize that everything's interconnected, and the heart unifies everything. The heart is the keys to Creator Source. And the Demiurge and these religions that have been altered want you to go outside yourself. They want to invert everything, and for you to put your power outside yourself and not realize that everything is divine. You're all children of the Most High.